Shalom. It is your brother Yawanathan. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. I want to give them honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Today, I want to review a movie called In Time. I mentioned it at this past Friday camp with Elder Yashawamba, Elder Ariala, Elder Yatzizak, the Zaquan Yadaka, and who else? I believe. And Elder Yariala. So I mentioned this movie because Elder Yariala was talking about how, you know, the commoner in this world doesn't have time. We don't have time to even really, contemplate how to get ahead. We don't have time to contemplate and enjoy life and our loved ones, and to really consider things in a major scope. And this movie immediately popped into my head. So this is a recap of the movie. I'm going to skip around and we're going to mention precepts because the devil has orchestrated society to be this way for the majority of people. And that's why it's such a divine intervention that we were able to come into this truth and to, have the understanding that we have. The Lord truly chose or called us. No one has been chosen yet. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. All right, but with no further ado, let's get started on the review of this movie. If you're gonna watch it, this will be pretty much a spoiler of a lot of things, but nonetheless, I believe it is a good movie to watch. All right, so let's get started.
Story recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain an action, sci-fi, and thriller film called In Time. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. In the future, humans have been genetically modified to stop aging at 25. The only caveat is when humans get to age 25, they only have 1 year left to live.
So, genetic modification, which of course is the hot topic, which is what this devil is pushing for. You see so many movies like this, shows like Re-Sleeved on Netflix. Many things where we could transfer consciousness into new bodies, which is something that's going to be given to the that remnant of Israel, day one of the establishment of the kingdom. When we're taken up into the chariots out of the way of the destruction, it says we shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye. But this devil wants to create his own version of that, okay? Which is why he's talking about the transference of consciousness, merging man with machine, transhumanism. Okay? So, again, that's referenced in this movie. But the interesting part about this movie is, like Odiarella mentioned in camp, the currency is time. All right? When you run out of currency, you die. And they have this mark in the movie, it's the left hand. But they have this mark in their arm, which allows them to live or function within the society, right? The Siragma. Okay? So, and those of a lower class, man, once they run out of time, they perish. All right? And that's the majority of people in this world, in this story. But I'm going to let a little bit more information play out. Here you go.
A person's life is shown on their forearm with a timer, and time is now the world's currency. The rich can basically live forever, while the poor live their lives paycheck to paycheck, literally. Will wakes up and sees he has less than 24 hours left. He heads down and greets his mother, Rachel, who is celebrating her 50th birthday. Their celebration is cut short when they start talking about finances. Rachel says she has 3 days left on her time and reminds Will of bills and loans they need to pay. Will reassures her that he'll come up with the money. Rachel says she'll be away for 2 days working and she'll pay alone. She tells Will he has to meet with her at a bus station so he can give her more time. She then hands Will 30 minutes so he can pay for a decent lunch. Will kisses her goodbye before heading to work. On his way to work, Will runs into a kid, Maya. She asks for a minute and Will happily gives her 5 minutes and sends her away smiling. He arrives at work and meets with his friend Borel. Will works at a factory making time storage devices. After a hard day's work, he clocks out and gets paid. He sees that his payment is lacking and demands more, but the distributor says the quota has increased and Will didn't reach it. Will later heads to a local bar and some men invite him to gamble, but he turns him down, but not after reminding one of the men he owes Will an hour. Will takes the hour and meets with Borel. Borel is drunk, pointing to someone who's been buying drinks for everyone. He says the man has over a century in his time. Will spots someone eyeing the man, and he decides to inform the man, Henry, that somebody is watching him. Will tells the man to leave as he's attracting too much attention, but the man refuses. A group of men enters and everyone at the bar is suddenly rushing out. Borel tells Will that they're Minutemen, gangsters who rob and extort. Borel pulls Will away, but Will intends to stay and watch. He assures Borel that he wouldn't do anything stupid, and Borel leaves him. The leader, Fortis, tells Henry he wants his time and even offers Henry the chance to fight for it. Henry appears nauseous and heads to the bathroom. He vomits while a Minuteman keeps watches. Will suddenly bursts in, knocks the guy out, and takes Henry with him. Will and Henry run out and Fortis and his men chase after them. They manage to escape after climbing over a gate and hiding inside an abandoned building. The Minutemen are close behind and almost find them, but eventually give up their chase when one of the men tells Fortis that he recognized Will. Will and Henry get acquainted, and Henry reveals he's 105 years old. He says his mind is fatigued, and he desires death, explaining his rash behavior. Will gets mad, considering that
Now he mentioned that his mind was fatigued. When we get our new bodies, man, it's going to be perfect. There's not going to be any defects. What this devil is trying to create with his pseudo blessing, because his blessing that was given to him by Isaac, it was meant to be temporary. It was for a time. There's only one kingdom in which the sun will never set. That is the kingdom of Israel. Okay? But this devil is trying to override the prophecies of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai by, see Ragma, tagging everyone. He's trying to find different ways to where he could get around the prophecies of the Lord, so he can be like the Most High. He's trying to get his blessing back. This all goes back to Jacob and Esau. Okay, but the guy said his mind is fatigued. Our mind won't be fatigued. Jake has all these questions, and they try to put the Most High in a box, like there could be some fault with him or with his crazy. No, we're going to be in complete perfection. We're not going to be bored. We're going to live forever, and we're going to enjoy eternity, and we're going to have an eternal amount of time. As opposed to over here, man, we have little time. We don't have enough time to really think straight. But that's all getting ready to change. All right? But it's a beautiful visual aid in this movie. And I'll probably play a few more minutes of this recap, and I'll end it there. But the concept is just what Esau wants. This is what he's trying to reach. And as we go on through the recap, it'll start to show you the elites of the society and how they have, centuries worth of time. You basically make their own time, Let's go.
his mother have to work several jobs just to live another day. Henry then reveals the secrets of their horrific world. Rich people increase the cost of living so that poor people keep dying, and, in turn, more time goes to the rich. The reality is that there is more than enough time for everyone. However, greed...
You hear that? The rich people increase... Let's back it up. Let's run it back. Let's listen to that again, because that's what's happening here, man. With the printing of, all this currency, it makes the dollar worth less. When they switch it over to digital currency, they'll just be able to digitally say, hey, this is how much you get paid, and they can decrease the wages, they can increase they'll be able to just completely manipulate things and have complete control over resources. And the people, when they become tagged, they in turn become a resource, so they just can have complete manipulation over everything, the people to the resources, from food from the soil to the fork. This is what we're heading towards. And Esau, the principles of Satanism is they believe they have to tell you what they're going to do, so that they're blameless of the so-called karma, or the reaping what they sowed, so that they're blameless, they're cleared of that, so that they're found blameless of the repercussions for the evil that they're doing. They tell you in movies or in a comical way, right? Or they'll even put people up that tell you the truth, like A. Jones, like the the Triple K's, the Ye, the Rees, They'll have a guy like that they put up, and they allow him to tell you the truth, but they paint him in a light to where he's crazy, to where everyone disregards what he says anyways. But they told you. But now they feel that as though they're blameless. That's one of the principles of Satanism. Okay? So in movies like this, and they'll set people up, and in particular shows, they'll tell you what they're trying to do, in a way that seems far out to the most people. But those who are able to think, if people had time to think and consider and go look up and research things for themselves, they would say, hold up. Look at the policies this man is passing. Look at what he's trying to invent. Look at what he's pushing for. He's trying to establish these things. But, majority of people, they feel as though they just got to rush and gratify their flesh. They don't have time to actually think about big picture things. And that's why, again, it's such a blessing that the Lord has opened our eyes to see and our ears to hear. Okay? But let's run this back. Listen to what he said.
And Henry reveals he's 105 years old. He says his mind is fatigued, and he desires death, explaining his rash behavior. Will gets mad, considering that he and his mother have to work several jobs just to live another day. Henry then reveals the secrets of their horrific world. Rich people increase the cost of living so that poor people keep dying, and, in turn, more time goes to the rich. The reality is that there is more than enough time for everyone. However, greed and lust for immortality blind the rich and powerful. Henry asks well what he'll do if he had the same amount.
Greed for immortality blind the rich and powerful. All right? Yeah, man, the earth is indeed in the hands of the wicked. And he's trying to extend his blessing to make it, forever. Their inward thought is that their houses shall abide forever. And I'm at work, so I can't really pull up the precepts like I want to, really get into it. I'm kind of rushing through this, so I might even do a more extensive sit down on this with another brother. Or I'll put this video in the chat so other brothers can do lessons on it. It's a dope movie, man. So, with that, I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.